Yes. So today's topic is welcome, a quick recap and what's new in 2025. So that's the topic for today. And I am Priyanka. I will be the presenter for today's session. And I also have Jafrina from my team joined here with us today. And if you have any doubts, you can post your questions and she will be the right person to give you all the answers. And if you're wondering where you have to post your questions, here I have the answer for you. At the bottom, you will have a question icon. You can click on that and you can post your questions. It doesn't really have to be a question. If you would like to convey something about the product, or if you would like to just give us suggestions or feedback, you can also do the same in the very same section. Okay. And if you would like to give us any reaction, you can explore the reaction icon as well, where you have a lot of reactions which you can use and you can, give us all the reactions you want. Now moving into the agenda, what we are going to cover today. First, we are planning to cover introduction to Zoho TeamInbox. I'm sure most of us here already know the product, but if you would like for me to give you a brief, yes, I will be absolutely doing that for you. We will be understanding why the solution Zoho TeamInbox was brought into picture, and then we will be discussing key benefits of Zoho TeamInbox. So while you make use of the solution, what are the benefits you're going to enjoy? And then we will move on to 2024 feature highlights. So we will be discussing about what were all the features which were released in the last year. And then we will also be seeing what are the features which are yet to come up, that is the upcoming features for this year. All right. So once that is done, then we will have a dedicated Q&A section. So in that part, if you have any doubts which are unanswered as well, we will be make sure to quick enough to answer all of the questions for you in that part of the section. Okay. Now moving on to the first topic, what is Zoho TeamInbox? Why the solution was introduced? So we all know hybrid work environment has become the new normal, isn't it? So before COVID and after COVID, there was quite a transition in this widespread of this particular culture, where after corporate and industries have realized the benefits of hybrid environment, they started to also put this to work, and they also encourage the employees to adapt to this culture. So this is quite benefiting for them and also for us, isn't it? So you can be across the globe, you can be anywhere, but still be connecting over online, and you can still work. So when this is the new normal, this has also brought a few more challenges for us, which is to connect and collaborate. So this has become a challenge nowadays, isn't it? And that's exactly why Zoho TeamInbox is brought as a solution for you to enjoy collaborating and connecting over this particular solution brought into picture. Here, if we have to understand how this particular solution works and how it helps you to improve your connectivity or collaboration, we need to understand a particular concept, that is shared inbox. So we know the primary communication that is done in a professional environment is via email, right? So when we combine as a team and when we are collaborating and working with an email ID, you have email group and shared inbox. So these two are two different concepts. When you have an email group, you will have an email ID, which is a group email ID. For example, let's say support@silka.com. Okay, so when you have this group email ID and you have 5 different members from your team who use this email ID, if it's going to be an email group, what happens is that, let's say a customer is reaching out to that particular email ID. The email gets landed in all of the 5 people's inbox. So all of you will open that particular mail and you wouldn't know who's going to attend to that, and rather you would be confused if you have to take it up or somebody else is already drafting a reply to that. So this is bringing in a lot of confusion. And let's say if this is a confusion for just one mail, let's say you have 100 different mails that is landing in that particular group email ID. How many confusion will come up, and it will be really, really chaotic. Wouldn't you think? That's where shared inbox acts as a solution, where all of you will be brought to one particular inbox, which will be a shared inbox. How would this work? Is that it's like as though you're using the same account, but with different credentials, right? So you will have one inbox with your own credential, which you can access, but it will be accessible for other members in the team as well. Let's take, for example, there is an inbox where 100 different mails comes and land. So all of you will have access to the inbox. Let's say each of you take 20 mails and check if it is something assigned to you or it's something you have to give it to somebody else. So you only have to handle 20 emails, and each of you will be handling 20, and you will be sharing and you will be delegating and taking what is yours. So it has saved you a lot of time. But imagine if you had 5 different inboxes and 100 mails land in all of these inboxes, and you have to face all 100 emails. It's going to take a lot of time, and it's going to confuse you who's going to take what. And here, the work efficiency is brought down to a level which is not expected, right? So that's where shared inbox is going to be really, really useful for you. And here, it's a unified inbox where multiple people of your team can receive, read, manage, and reply to group emails. All right. Now, Zoho TeamInbox is a solution for this. In corporate companies or in an organization, the word team productivity has been used again and again and again to an abusing level itself. So what is team productivity? Team productivity is not just about you get your work. I'm sure all of us work tirelessly and we try to meet this productivity expectation of wherever we are working, right? But if we're going to attend to emails which are not even relevant to us, or rather if we are wasting our time opening our emails which are not meant for us, that itself is consuming a lot of time, right? If we are going to omit this particular issue, what we are going to attain is the team productivity that is expected of us to attain. So here in TeamInbox, you can create common inboxes for your teams and give them the comfort of working in a transparent workspace. Why do we say transparent workspace? Is since you're all brought to a particular inbox here, everybody know who's taking up what job and what is being assigned to you. So you can focus on the one that is being assigned to you, and also you will be looped in other threads as well. In a way, let's say one of your teammates is taking up a particular thread. Okay, in that case, if they are following that particular thread and you are trying to follow the thread, there is a feature called follow in TeamInbox. Then you follow that, you will be updated about whatever is going on in the thread, but you wouldn't have to, intervene. You don't have to contribute anything to the thread, but rather just be a spectator and see what is going on with that thread. So here, the transparency is brought into picture where you know what exactly another person or how they are handling the particular thread assigned to them, and also focus on the ones given to you. Yes. Every solution evolves in its own way. And here in TeamInbox, we have evolved that not just email is the primary communication nowadays. People are using different platforms depending on their preferences. So we want a TeamInbox to adopt that as well. So here you have WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, and Telegram, which you can add it as a channel and you can make use of the same. So when you start a company or when you're working in a company, so when they try to connect with their clients or their customers or their professional circle, it doesn't just have to be email. It could also be any of these platforms. When these platforms are already existing and which is being used by all of the audience or whatever professional circle you have, definitely this has to be brought into the solution that we are proposing, right? So we didn't want to leave these out. So when we are proposing TeamInbox, we're also saying that all of these channels are something you can add as a channel here in TeamInbox and make use of the same. Let it be a professional ID. If any of these handles are involved, then you can easily add them in TeamInbox, have a centralized communication, and you can connect with your customers and clients seamlessly. Now, why multi-channel? Why not just email? Is that, as I already told you, when you are connecting with people worldwide, across the globe, across the country, you wouldn't know their preference. Not everybody would prefer just the email channel. If they are more comfortable talking to you via WhatsApp or more comfortable talking to you via Instagram, then you have to let them do that, right? You have to give them that convenience. So this will satisfy the customer convenience. And increased reach, the more the platform, the more the people you're going to connect with. And improved responsiveness. How improve responsiveness? When you're going to add all of these channels and centrally, manage them in one particular platform, you would be able to, improve your responsiveness to that. Let's say you have 5 different applications. You have to toggle between all 5 different applications to connect to your audience. It's going to take time and it's going to be tedious for you. But let's say all 5 is going to be brought into one particular channel where you're going to have a clarity on which application or which message you have to tend to first and prioritize and work, then that's going to lead way to improved responsiveness. And that's exactly why we gave way to multiple channel communication. So now I suppose we have a clear idea of TeamInbox. And now I would like to show you the structure of how it is built. That is how the hierarchy is done. Here, as you can see, you will create an organization under which you will have teams. Let's say you have a support team, pre-sales team, marketing team. You can create your teams. Under those teams, you can have various inboxes created. Let's say for marketing, you can say design, and you can say promotion, you can say other such creatives, you can say other such aspects, and you can create inboxes. Under these inboxes, you can add various channels, not just one, but number of channels. You can create email channel, WhatsApp channel, Telegram channel, and you can add it to the inbox. And there is endless possibilities here. So this is how you will build your hierarchy in TeamInbox. I would like to quickly show you how it works here. So this is the TeamInbox platform. I'm sure most of you already are aware of this, but let me just brief on all of the options available here. So initially, you'll be able to see the section where you can see the assigned to me, that is the ones that have been assigned to the threads or the messages which you've taken up for yourself for you to handle, and then the one that you are following as in the one that you want to just spectate and not contribute. And you have shared with me and other such aspects which are personal to you. And then you have teams. Teams is which one you've created for, again, I said marketing or support or pre-sales, depending on the number of teams you have in your business, you can create it here, under which you can have number of inboxes. As you can see here, this is a team, and again, this is a team, and this is a team, but under which you have several inboxes created, right? And in these inboxes, you can create channels. For example, if you can see here, in this particular inbox, you have various channels. You have a mail, you have a Telegram message, you have a WhatsApp message here. So depending on the channels you have created, you'll be able to see so many channels within the particular inbox itself. And once you want to handle, you can handle the particular message. And here you have comments available for you to have a contextual conversation about the particular thread or the message. So what is contextual conversation here? Is that when you are trying to get clarification about a particular mail, you shouldn't be moving out of the tool to talk to the individual. Okay, you don't have to call them, you don't have to message them. Rather, you can post it as a comment. As long as they're within the organization, they'll be able to easily help you with that. Here, you can just tag the person and you can comment, and the person, whoever you're trying to communicate with, will get a notification in the bell icon, and they'll give you the, brief or whatever the information that you are expecting for them to give you. Also, you have the assign option here. So I'm just showing you some of the significant options available. Don't worry, I won't be going in detail. Here you have the assign option. So if you would like to take it up for yourself, for you to handle this particular thread, you can assign it to yourself. Or if you would like to assign it to somebody else, letting them know, this is something I think you should be handling, then you can simply select the person and assign it to them. So they don't have to waste their time to again go through these mails and see if it is required of them to handle or for you to handle. So you're also helping them to take their work, and also you're focusing on the ones that you have to work on. So this is a brief of how this looks like, and you also have assigned to others. So if you have assigned threads or messages to others, you can also see them via their names here. And then you also have tags, tags and custom views. Custom views, if you have selected or if you have searched for certain messages or a set of threads, if you would like to give a keyword for you to easily get to those thread or the messages again, you can use custom views. And then you have contacts for you to save all of the important contacts. And then you have reports available. And then analytics. And here you have the plus icon for you to create your channels, create discussions, create inboxes, teams. All of that is available by just clicking on this particular icon that is just beside the TeamInbox heading. All right, so I've just shown you an overview of how the product looks like and how you can work with it or start working with it. Now moving on, since we have a better idea, I suppose we already know the benefits, but still I would like to phrase them all to you. The first is centralized communication. So not just with one channel, you have multiple channels here. You can bring all of the channels to just one platform so you can easily prioritize and work with the same. Let's take, for example, if somebody is trying to contact you via, WhatsApp and email, you may have missed in one particular channel and you would be, communicating in another, and then somebody would be taking care of WhatsApp, and you'll have two different communication happening with the same person. So to avoid this, if you're going to bring it to the same platform, this particular confusion can be easily resolved. Then you have clear ownership and enhanced teamwork. So as I already told you, you can easily assign the messages and your emails. When you assign it, you are saving a lot of time for the other teammate and for yourself. Then you have efficient task management. You have specific tools in TeamInbox for you to prioritize and work with your task. So if you feel like there are few emails which you would like to attend to later, you can easily snooze them. And you also have a set of emails which you would like to prioritize and work. You can put them in a separate inbox, or rather give them tags, and you can work with them so you are clear as to what you have to focus for the moment. Clutter-free inbox. Again, removal of unwanted emails from your view itself is going to give you a lot of clarity. Right? So let's say if you're pushing away the emails that somebody else has to handle, it'll be easier for you to focus on the ones that you have to, right? This leads to clutter-free inbox, and you also have improved reports and analytics. So why am I emphasizing on these points is that, let's say you have a team and you are tirelessly working on attending to all of the queries and requests that your customers and clients are, sending to you. In those cases, how productive you work towards it and your work efficiency really, really matters. In those cases, you need to be able to evaluate your team's efficiency. And that's where reports and analytics comes into picture, where you'll be able to easily evaluate your team's efficiency. And from there, you can take further measures as to how you can improvise your team's efficiency. Okay. All of these solutions are brought to you with Zoho TeamInbox. And now the actual topic. Here, as you can see, we are now ready to see a quick recap of whatever we released in the year 2024. Can we see all of them? So I have different modules for you ready here. The first module is going to be channels and communication. Under this particular module, the first topic is release of Instagram and Facebook channels. So this was released last year. So I already told you email is not just the primary mode of communication, but rather we have different channels in picture, and according to the customer's preferences, they might use any platform they like to communicate with you. So you should be available and also bring them to a centralized platform for you to handle them with ease as well, right? So for that, we also have Instagram and Facebook added. Let me show you how you can create channels there. Here, as you can see, when you click on the plus icon just beside the TeamInbox heading, you can choose channels, okay? There you have shared channel. Please make note, you cannot add a personal channel, but a shared channel. Click on that. And there you can choose Facebook Messenger and Instagram for you to create the channels, okay? When you choose Instagram, please note the Instagram channel has to be linked to your Facebook account, okay? And also you have Facebook Messenger available. Here you can choose next, and then you can just give it a name, say Facebook page. And then say next. You'll be able to, given your credential, authenticate yourself, and you'll be able to add the account with ease. So if it is a business account, business handle that you're trying to add here, you just have to give in the credential, authenticate yourself, and choose the page which you would like to add to the inbox, and then you can create. Same goes for Instagram. When you are able to add this particular channel, you have to authenticate with the Facebook account, and you can select the particular page which is associated with Facebook, and then you can add it to the inbox. All right. So this is your multiple channel where you can add your Instagram and Facebook using these methods. And then you have add multiple channels to an inbox. So as I already told you, if you're going to just add one particular channel, which could be email, to a particular inbox, it doesn't mean that a category of messages or queries will only reach one platform. Let's say a person is trying to, or rather a particular query is being communicated to you via email, Facebook, and WhatsApp. So you should be able to add all of these channels to one particular inbox, saying if this category of query is trying to reach us, it has to go to this inbox, right? In those cases, you should be able to add multiple channels to one inbox. You can streamline communication across various channels. So you also have mark as duplicates available. So marking as duplicates is, we would have faced some situations where when we communicated with the person would have communicated with us in two different channels or two different email IDs, okay? So let's say the person is sending the same email to a particular group email ID twice or thrice, trying to get your attention. So they could be, wanting your attention, but you would have been prioritizing according to the urgency of the message, and you feel the message has been repeated again and again and again. In those cases, if you would like to, mark something as duplicate and say that this is already handled, then you can easily mark it as duplicate and you can go forth and handle with the same. And then you have blocking domains and email addresses. So if you would like to block a domain and email address, you shall very well do that. For you to do the same, you just have to go to the settings and then choose block domains and email addresses, and you can specify the email address and domain you would like to block, and you can easily block them. But please note, when you try to block an email ID or domain, it doesn't mean that it won't come into your inbox anymore. It just means it's going to be moved to the spam folders. All right. But obviously, we want a clutter-free inbox where wherever we are trying to focus, there we don't have any irrelevant emails, isn't it? So that particular purpose is achieved here, where your unwanted or irrelevant emails will be moved to spam folders. All right, so before we move to the inbox management, I'd like to show you the demo here again. Great. So here we were talking about a particular feature where we are able to add multiple channels, right? So here I'm trying to manage this particular inbox where the channels are available. You can choose channels. Can you see the email channel is added here? If you would like to add any more channels, you just have to create from here by choosing create channel, and you can choose the channel you want to create and you can go forth and create one. All right. And we also saw blocking and unblocking your domains and email addresses. In those cases, you can choose settings on the top right corner just beside your avatar, and you can choose more settings. And there, under organization, you have anti-spam available. Okay, this is where you will have to find yourself in order for you to block your emails and domains from reaching your group email IDs. You can choose anti-spam, choose email address, and you can add the email address under the block list. You can choose here and you can add the email ID here. If you would like to add a domain, otherwise you can choose domains and you can choose block list and you can add the domains here. Okay, so when you're going to add email address and domains under this field, then what did I say? It will move to your spam folders and not hinder your inbox anymore. Okay, so we are done with this as well. So for you to understand how you can mark a message as duplicate, let's say this message is a duplicate. Okay, you just have to choose the 3 dots icon and you can say mark as duplicate. So when you do that, this particular thread will be marked as duplicate and nobody will be handling this separately where a duplication of work will be done. So this is done, and the next module we're going to see is inbox management, under which I would like to show you usage of empty inbox. Can you use an empty inbox without channel? Absolutely, yes. It has a specific use case where you can use them as folders. How can you do that? So let's say you want to create an inbox. Okay, so when you create itself, you have an option where you can specify that you don't want to configure any channels under the same. For example, this priority inbox itself is created as such. When you do that, if I want to move any emails or move any messages to that particular inbox, I can simply do that and make it act as a folder instead. Okay, so there wouldn't be any emails or messages directly routed to the same, but rather I'm just keeping it for my use or my reference where I would like to just move it to that particular folder, also have it as a shared inbox. So for everybody to know, this is a particular folder and it is for this particular purpose. Let's say if you want to create an inbox for a client, for a project, or just like this, a priority or urgent messages to be dropped in that particular inbox, you can create one separately for that and not assign any channels to it. All right. So here, as it says, handling inboxes that are not tied to specific channels, you can use it for administrative use or internal purposes as well. And then goes moving chats or emails between inboxes. So if you would like to do that, you should be able to do that. For example, let's say there is a person who's trying to get their queries clarified. So the particular email ID they have to reach out to is support@Zilko Training or Zilko.com. In that case, if they've sent an email to support and to pre-sales, in those cases, what would happen is two different teams will be handling the same, right? Then what you have to do is the pre-sales team or whoever is in the other inbox should move it to the support team saying, this is something you need to handle, right? So if it reaches the wrong inbox as well, or rather if you feel this particular message is more fit to be dropped in this inbox, you can easily move them. How would you do that is, here, let me go to priority, okay? There are a few emails here. And I find that under event request, there is a particular mail which should be quickly attended to, and this should be brought under the priority inbox. In those cases, for me to move that, there is two different ways I can do it. One is I can choose move, and then I can choose the inbox to where I want to move. Rather, I can simply drag it from here. Can you see it is being pulled away? And I can drop it in the particular inbox that I'm trying to put it under. Okay, here, if at all I want to add any more messages to that, I can do that and I can move it, or rather I can say move. Okay, so this is how easily you can move your messages and your mails between your inboxes. All right, and now next you have enhanced collaboration. So now we finished two different modules, communication and channels and inbox management. And this is the third module we're going to cover, that is enhanced collaboration. And what were the features that were released under this particular module is internal discussions. So when we are having a tool where we are collaborating and delegating and working, if you would like to also communicate within yourself and bond better and discuss better, you should be able to do that, and the tool should allow you to do that, right? TeamInbox just has the right feature for you to do this, and that is internal discussions. So let's say we have event hosting team. Okay, in that case we receive a lot of requests and I would like to brainstorm some ideas before I send a reply. For me to brainstorm, I need a space where I can communicate with my events team, right? There I have a discussion feature available. I can choose the plus icon again. I can choose discussions, and there I can bring in the ideas. I'm just going to say ideas, and I'm going to post a message saying, I would like all of you to contribute and give me some ideas and creatives as to what we can do for the particular event that is being asked for us to do. And I can create one. I can also assign it to a particular inbox here. Okay, and I can create. So once after I create, I get to also assign it. So if at all the initiation is me, but I would like somebody else to handle it, somebody else to follow up with this, I can also assign it to somebody saying, take this up and follow this up. Okay, and here you get to comment on the same. So when somebody is brainstorming, for somebody is trying to drop in a suggestion or feedback, they can very well do that in the comment section. So you can have all the discussion there and you can come to a better conclusion. All right, so that is discussions for you under the enhanced collaboration module. And then we have performance in analytics. Now this is quite important. So we've been talking about team productivity, work efficiency. So how would you evaluate and what are the measures you have if at all you haven't met the particular productivity or efficiency that you are trying to meet? Here you have response time goal. Okay, so how does this feature work? Or rather, I would say that this particular feature is very favorite of mine, because let's say there is an important client who is reaching out to you often, okay? And there are times when we, miss out in replying to them or it gets delayed, okay? You don't want this to happen again. In those cases, what you can say is you can set up a rule itself saying, if a reply is not sent to this person within this period of time, then the following action has to take place, that it has to be assigned to somebody else, or rather it needs to be notified to me, etc. like that. I'll show you the feature, how it works, so we'll have a better idea as to how we can purpose this. Here under settings, you can choose more settings. And under organization, you have rules. Okay. Here in the rules, I'm going to say add rules and I'm going to say important client. Okay. And the inbound message. So this particular rule has to be triggered for inbound messages only, right? I'm going to say select condition and going to say response time goal. Okay. So when I'm going to choose this, I'm setting a response time goal for 2 hours. Okay. So this is a very, very important client. If they're trying to reach out to us, we have to reply to them in another 2 hours. Okay. I'm going to say who this client is. Okay. If from address contains the person's name, let's say ren@zilker.com. Okay. And I can say, if this person contacts us and the response time goal is 2 hours, if it has crossed that, then what needs to happen? Okay. I can say it needs to be assigned to a particular person, after which, if nobody has taken it, or rather I can say it needs to be notified to the teammates saying, somebody has to really take this up and prioritize the same. Or rather, I can also say reply with, I can create an auto response itself, giving them an excuse of why the message was not attended. Okay. So you can also move it to priority inbox if you want, if you have such purposes. So you have a lot of actions available and listed here from which you can choose, and you can, save it. So you can create here, choosing the creation option, and you can create the rules as such. So this is how response time goal is going to be really useful for you. So if at all you want some things to be done in a particular period of time, and if it doesn't happen, if you want to trigger other actions to take place, you shall very well come to this response time goal rules. Okay. And you also have a particular analytics created for this, where you have this report, okay, where you will have a clear idea as to if at all your teammates are working really hard and they're meeting the work efficiency that you're expecting them to meet. You will be able to see the replies sent, the archived threads, the threads that met the response time goal, and new outbound emails that are waiting to be responded. So with all of these information, you can evaluate, the work efficiency, and you can also take the further measures. You can brainstorm and come up with ideas how you can meet this response time goal. Okay, for you to analyze this, for you to evaluate this, we have this report available in our tool itself. And then we have widgets and integration. So we have a very wonderful tool here, but without integration, how would we improvise this? We have integration with Zoho WorkDrive. So if you would like to also include attachments, you don't have to go to a different tool at all, but rather we have the integration right here available for you to do that. Introducing integration with Zoho WorkDrive for enhanced file management sharing within TeamInbox. For you to do this, let's say I'll just open a thread for you to see how you can pick your files. Okay, as you can see here, I'm going to reply to this email, or rather, I'll just find another one. Okay, I can choose reply. And here you have the WorkDrive integration available. Don't worry about the configuration at all. As long as you create under the same organization, you'll be able to easily find this already configured. If you want it to be disabled, is when you can go and disable it, but rather it is defaultly configured for you. Okay. Choose WorkDrive. From there, you can easily pick your files. You can choose the particular folder, you can choose the particular file, and you can bring them in with ease. All right, you can say pick. So you can attach it as a link and attach it as a copy. So if you're attaching as a copy, the particular file itself gets attached just like that. But if you want to give it some permissions, or if you're going to add more customizations to it, you can add it as an attachment. When you choose add it as a link, what happens is here only recipients of the email who is there in the particular email will have access to the same, rather members with access. So let's say these members in the team already have, or whoever you're replying to, whoever is looped in a thread, already have different access to the particular file according to your WorkDrive permission. Then according to that permission, it will work. Members of the team in the WorkDrive, and you also have anyone on internet. Okay, you can give all of these specifications while you choose the particular file, and you can add them. Okay, and then you can choose pick. So can you see it is already added here at the bottom? Okay, this is how it gets added. All right. So now we saw how you can pick your files from your WorkDrive integration as well. So we are done with this particular module of widgets and integration. Now moving on. What's awaiting for you? So whatever that we released in the last year has been already announced, and I'm sure you are quite excited to give it a try yourself as well. So let's see what is awaiting for us this year. Here, you have the mobile application. As long as the tool is really, really useful for you, you should be able to use whenever you want, even while you're on the go, right? So when you use mobile application, you can simply use the tool wherever you are. And here you have the mobile application available. Okay. We are soon to roll it out. Here you have the option to configure your channels just from your mobile apps. You don't have to worry about the configuration that needs to only be done from web application. That is not the case now. You can also configure it from your mobile application as well. You can create your email channel or any other channel which you would like to link, and you can add it to your inbox. And that is exactly then showing screen here. Okay, you can give it the email IDs that you want, and you can add them. You can configure outgoing and incoming configurations, and you can set it up in your mobile device itself. Okay. And here you have TeamInbox at zohomobile.com. So once we roll out the beta version, we'll let you know. And when we would love for all of you to give it a try and give us your feedback. And with those feedback, we'll be able to improvise the application we are providing for you. We also have the Windows application available. So if you would like to use the TeamInbox in the application as well in your desktop, you should be able to do that. And we have the beta version already available. We are dropping in the link in the chat box here. Please make a note of the same. And we also have a QR code available. You can also scan the same and you can make use of this. And here again, we are awaiting for your feedback. So just give it a try, explore all the options available here. If you would like for us to improvise anything, even the minute details, we would be open to hear all of them and improve it for you. So here, as you can see, all the options are already available here in the desktop application as well. You should be able to use the multiple channels within your inbox. You get to create, you get to work with your centralized communication tool just like that. If you do not have any doubts at all, thank you so much for joining the session. And I really hope the session was fruitful to you. And if you would like to, sign up and give it a try for the product, you have the website available here. That is zoho.com/teaminbox. And if you would like to have a product demo, then you can reach us out at presales@Zoho TeamInbox.com. We'll be dropping in these links as well in the chat box itself and the email ID. Thank you once again for joining the session.